Yo guys, I just wanted to get on here and put something in perspective for you because I was doing the math, breaking everything down. I want to put something into perspective for you guys that just might change the way you look at your job forever. On an average day, I'm working 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in some days when it's really busy at my job, which is FedEx. It all just depends because I'm a smaller location, more hands-on, and typically we work about 15 to 20,000 packages a day on average. And if you think about how much each one of those packages cost to ship, well, because we got to take into account the big shit, the small shit, all of that. So we'll just average about $20 per package to ship. And this means that just for my team, my shift, my area for our average 4 hours per day, they're averaging about 3, 4, maybe even $500,000 a day for just our 4 hours. And then you got to think we have another team in the afternoon, which I'm not a part of, but they probably do the same thing. So that's another 3, 4, 500 grand. So we'll say $800,000 plus a day, which would be my math. I put it into ChatGPT, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is all correct information. And so $800,000 for my team alone, $400,000 a day. And how much am I getting paid out of that? So I'll make about $19.50 an hour. We'll just round up to $20 an hour, and then we'll round up the next number as well. If you do the exact math for how much I make $13.65 an hour after taxes, because taxes up here is 30%, and in most places they take away 30% from your check. So if we do $20 an hour, I'm making $14 an hour. That's being generous per hour, $14 an hour, and I'm generating, $10 to $15,000 of just me myself alone for the company per day, $10 to $15,000, and I'm making $13.65 an hour. So I'm generating $10 to $15,000 for the company, and I'm only getting paid 50 to 80 bucks maybe for all of the out of that 10, 15 grand, I'm getting 50 to 80 bucks, a day. And if you ask me, well, what does this sound like? Does that sound like a job? That doesn't sound like a job. That doesn't sound like a job that I want to work for, at least. It sounds like a trap. And now I'm starting to understand why people call it the rat race, because it truly is a rat race. Slavery never went away when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. They just got smarter about it. It's modern day slavery. And it's not just FedEx, it's UPS, it's Amazon, it's McDonald's, it's everything corporate America, all these big businesses. And then at the end of the days, when we're getting close to finishing, my job likes to send some people home early so they can make more money, I would assume. And it's just greed. All they're thinking about is the money and the investors and their shareholders, and they don't give a fuck about the workers. We're just workers. We're just numbers. When I was suspended for 6 months, they didn't give a fuck about me. They was giving me a fixed income on paid suspension, and it just limits you. But I'm glad that I did get that suspension time because it allowed me to, and broaden my knowledge and study trading. And well, right now I'm starting to get into stocks, and I'm also going to be getting into some type of trade, preferably HVAC at the moment, but I just don't know how I'm going to go about it because I never graduated high school. I don't got my GED. I don't even have a car to get to work. I have my girlfriend drop me off because she uses the car for work, and then I get Ubers home, and then I'm just, at home all day. So I have all this free time, and, I'm glad I do because it's waking me up to we'll just call it the Matrix. Wake up, Neo. Like, alright, let me stop with that. But y'all get the point. So basically, they're using us and working us to the bone while paying us pennies on the dollar. We're giving them our time, we're giving them our health, we're giving them our energy. And what are they paying us? They're paying us fucking breadcrumbs, and while they're profiting like kings, like, yeah, you get the point. So now that we know the problem, now we have to come up with a solution to escape this rat race. So what is the solution? The solution is ownership. Ownership is the difference between being free and being trapped at a job for the rest of your life or X amount of years. So what does ownership look like? Well, ownership looks like, owning your skills. And for example, some of these skills would be content creation or just content, being able to have a skill in HVAC, which would be a trade, digital design, you got coding, you got trading. There's many opportunities. There's a million ways to make $1,000,000. It just depends on what you want to do. And you want to own your time as well by not clocking into a job and building passive incomes that pay you while you sleep. If you can do this, that's helping you get out of the rat race. And eventually you will get there. And you want to own a platform as well, whether it's podcast, branding, marketing. For me, it would be YouTube and Instagram. And, just anything social media. You want to have a platform that you can market yourself, sell yourself, and build yourself and your brand around your name. That's one way that ownership looks like. You want to own your incomes, whether it's trading, investing, vending machines, or just vending in general. You have side hustles that you can eventually work on until they turn into your main hustles, whether it's like mowing lawns or construction, HVAC, plumbing, electric. Like there's many, 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 many things that you can do to own your income. You also want to own equity, which would be businesses, properties, digital products, which some of you guys probably do drop shipping and the such. And I don't know much about it, but you guys probably do. Some of you. You want to have a brand that is appreciating instead of depreciating. And what I mean by this is, what do banks tell you to do? They tell you to save your money. They tell you to buy houses. This shit is bullshit. It's only a scam. You don't want to put all your money and work all these years to buy a house. Instead, you want to have a business that is appreciating, because when you buy a house, it's very likely that it's going to depreciate, and if it appreciates, it's going to take a long time to appreciate, longer than a business would. You might fail your first 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses, but all you need is one to stick. You just need one ideal that'll stick. And like the book Think and Grow Rich talks about, all it takes is one ideal, and the riches will come so fast that you'll start to wonder where the shit has been your whole entire life. And if any of y'all have read that, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And then when we come back to banks telling you to save, and the world and society telling you to save your money, stack your money, buy a house with your money. Bullshit. They're telling you this because it's a scam, it's a lie. They just, they don't want to see you succeed. So when and knowing this, now it just drives you to even want to succeed anymore and prove everybody wrong. And that's not why you should be doing it in the first place, though. The reason you should be doing it is to buy your time back and to buy your freedom back with, passive incomes and skills and, just ownership in general. Whatever ownership looks like to you, because I've given you a couple examples, but there's many different types of ownership. Whether it's like, and if y'all, any of y'all watch anything by Grant Cardone, you probably know a little bit of what I'm talking about, because some of this information comes from him as well. I want to explain to y'all guys how I'm using my job, which is pennies on the dollar, to escape the rat race. And I'm using my job to fund my trading skills. I'm using my job to invest into stocks, just to overall take my money and have my money work for me and build my trading skills, my stock skills, investing skills, and building my own online presence to, help me and help y'all as well. Because I'm not just doing it for me. Obviously, nobody's going to watch me if I'm not giving value, which is another thing. The more value you give, the more money you'll make. So just give value, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to be as genuine as possible while giving as much information and value as I can through these videos. So, just in general building my online presence, and it's helping me, and I'm also helping y'all by waking you up to the reality, even though it's fucking depressing. When I did the math, I sat and I'm like, damn, that's mind-blowing. That's actually depressing how much I make and how little I get from it. And I was talking to my dad, and he used to work for a company, and yeah, it's how it starts up, But he started up because he realized this too. He's like, well, I can make more money if I just own my own stuff. So he started his own business, and it took, 5-10 years before he started making real money with it. Of course, it takes time, but you're going to say, oh, well, 5 to 10 years, blah, 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 whatever your excuse is that you got, because I can't really think of none right now. But guess what? Those 5 to 10 years are going to pass regardless of whatever you're doing, whether you're sitting on the fucking couch watching movies and eating chips, or you're getting to the work and getting to the job. The time is going to pass regardless. So what are you going to do with that time? Yeah, pretty much one day I'm going to own my platform. Who knows how long? It could be sooner, it could be longer. But one day I'm going to own my own platform. I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to have ownership of many different things. And I won't need to clock into a job to survive where they could literally get rid of us at any moment and we'll be fucking screwed. And, you know, this happens to a lot of people. You know, you can look into the past and see how many times companies had just laid people off when they're like 50s, 60s because they didn't need them anymore. The company went down and they're just fucked. You know, they're just screwed. So I don't want anything like that to happen to me. I don't feel reassured or safe with a job because it's not reassuring or safe. It's, you know, people like to work jobs because of the security, but there is no security in a job regardless of what the fuck way you put it or think about it. Yeah, it might be a little bit more safer and secure than, you know, starting your own company and losing money for years and years and years, but once you finally do it, that's more secure than a regular 9 to 5 job. And if somebody like me can do it, then any of y'all can do it. You know, all of us can do it. And one key factor to this is to stop having an employee mindset. An employee mindset is killing us. You want to stop having an employee mindset, and some of us, you know, need to be leaders, need to stop being followers, and we need to be able to lead people and just lead a company, lead a business, because leading is hard. That's why many people don't want to do it. People don't want to deal with people as well, and even me, I'm not a very big people person. I don't like dealing with people, but I'm starting to realize slowly and surely that it doesn't matter what I want or how I feel about it. I'm going to have to deal with people, and I'm going to have to lead people. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or ways around it. So yeah, just start thinking like a leader and start thinking like an owner. Stop thinking like an employee and stop thinking like a slave. And to end the video off, you know, I just want to call y'all to an action step, and my call to action for y'all would be, you know, if you're just tired of working your body into the ground for another man's dream, you want to start working for your own dreams, then do it. You know, drop a like down in the below and drop some comments on whatever it is that you want to do, and, you know, if it's something that you truly want to do and pursue for the rest of your life, whatever company it may be, just start looking into it, start taking your money and stop spending it on stupid stuff, budget it more wisely. If you make a little bit less than me, or, well, I don't even make much, if you just make, you know, not a lot of money, you want to budget it very wisely, because I don't make a lot of money, so it's very hard for me to budget, but if I can do it, then you guys can do it, you know, like, as a man, I know a lot of you men out there probably maybe feel the same way or see the same way as I do. So let's put this into perspective, you know. My girlfriend, she makes more money than me by a little bit, not much, but she makes a little bit more than me. But she also works way more than me. And somehow I always have more money than her because I just budget it more wisely. I don't spend money on things that I don't have money to spend on. I don't spend money on things that I don't need, or, you know, just because. I don't even smoke weed no more. I quit smoking weed about 3 weeks-ish ago so I could save more money, because do I want to have money spent on just me smoking it and having pleasure, or do I want to take that money and put it into other things? I'd rather take the money and put it into other things. Fuck that plant, fuck that drug, you know. Especially with my income, some of you might have more lenient incomes to be able to do all of these things, and you can smoke weed or whatever it is and still own these businesses. But for me, I don't think it's a good choice. And even Grant Cardone said this, you know, it's nothing but distractions and it's a waste of time. Whether you think it makes you more creative or whatever the fuck, it's all bullshit. Whatever you can do while under the influence, you can do better while you're sober. So yeah, just drop the comment below of whatever you're trying to work on. If you have a plan, you know, to get out of the rat race, if you're building your escape, you know, just give me some interaction so we can help get this video onto people's pages, For You pages. Subscribe as well, so, because this is the type of content that people don't want you to hear. This is the content that they don't want you to hear. These are the things that they don't want you to know. Like, I think dude that I watch who's in one of my groups, his name is TC Talks, Terrence Carter, TC Talks, TC Fitness, and he talks about this as well. He's the one who actually kind of got me looking at it like, damn. And he basically says that when you go to a job, they ask you, why should we hire you? And obviously you're not going to tell them because I need fucking money. You know, you're going to come up with some yes man excuse. But the reality is you're only working a job because you need the money to pay your bills, to buy your food, to pay whatever you need to pay. And, well, they tell you, oh, we're gonna pay you $20 an hour, 25 an hour, whatever it may be, but they're not telling you how much you're actually making after tax. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit, and they're not telling you how much you're making for the company either. Like, it's all bullshit. So, you know, because if you really knew the reality and the facts and the numbers of what you're making them and how much you're getting paid from that amount of money that you're making them, nobody would want to work. This is why they don't tell you these things. Nobody would want to work anymore because they'll realize it's just fucking modern day slavery. It's gonna probably be a little bit of a longer video, it seems like today, and it's gonna be a lot for me to edit it. But it's not that bad. It's not that much. I'll get through it. I'm very grateful to even be able to have this opportunity. And for all you guys that are trying to build your escape and build your business, build your brands, I hope and pray that you get it done as you see fit and as God sees fit for his will for you. And yeah, I just hope to see every one of us succeed. But this is how I'm gonna close it out. But yeah, in Jesus' name, amen. See you guys on the next video.